Our voice says, do measures for Alberta, not for NDP party policy that might take us on a path that none of us want.
Yes.
Thank you. And now I'll take any questions media has.
Speak up for Alberta.
Woo!
So, George, the point in picking up the membership is to change their policies at AGMs. What's the point?
Leadership.
That's not up to me to say. That's up to the people of Alberta. I think the NDP has a lot of good policies. I think they've lost their path of compassion. I think that having more Albertans that care about their fellow family would actually lead to a refining and an enhancement of the policies that they have, but only if the majority of the members want it.
Why the change from March at the legislature to today in a shopping mall?
That's actually quite simple. The AGM was moved up to June 10th, and they have a rule that you have to be a member for a certain period of time to be able to participate in the selection of delegates for that AGM. So they were trying to suppress democracy. They've hijacked my website in an attempt to suppress democracy, having it go directly to the Alberta NDP party. Well, when that happened, and I go to the Alberta NDP party, what's the first thing I see? Donate and join. So they did us a favor. They gave us the solution to have our voice heard.
George, what are you doing with the $20,000 that you raised from crowdsourcing?
We're doing advertising to bring to the people the message that the mainstream media up to now has refused. How can we, in this province, already obtain over 80,000 signatures and be ignored by the provincial press and the national press?
Yeah.
I need that money to be able to get a message to every ordinary Albertan so that they know they can have a voice.
So you said 2,500.
2,500 volunteers.
Okay, how many signatures?
Well over 80,000 already.
So there was discussion at some point that you were going to have, you had talked some mechanism to unseat the government. That had been discussed.
I never said that. Journalists put out false theories journalists put out false theories and then interviewed so-called experts to ask about those false theories and then wrote great big assumptions about what we were going to do. No, all along we knew that if we weren't listened to as ordinary Albertans, our only way was to become Alberta NDP members.
This is your plan all along.
Absolutely.
So what was going to happen on March 8th?
On March 8th, we're presenting the petitions, this time as members of the Alberta NDP party, asking.
I'm a member.
I'm
a member.
I'm a member.
I'm going to take back my province.
We are going to present a petition and ask the Premier and our MLA caucus to respect the wishes of Alberta and measure the will of the people and then act accordingly.
So, I mean, are you joining the NDP with the intent to try and unseat Premier Notley as the leader of the party, or?
It's up to the members.
I have
really
no
up to the
intention
members.
of
It's up to the
anything.
NDP party. And we're members now.
How could they possibly unseat her?
I guess I'm just
How
wondering.
could they possibly unseat her?
I guess I'm just wondering. Well, first off, how many people do you think will join the party based on?
Indications we have are for every influential person whose voice on those petitions is ignored, we'll have about 5 people join. So possibly 400,000 people will join. It only costs $1 to join the NDP party of Alberta. It's $1 well spent.
It's $1. I joined
The
last
government
night for
isn't.
$1.
They aren't actually required to listen to their party anymore, and they are to listen to anyone else.
You better
There's often been complaints in the past that governments don't listen to resolutions passed by parties. So how will this actually make a difference?
Well, I think it'll make a difference because individual MLAs have to face nomination meetings if they don't listen to the wishes of their members. I think that individual MLAs might be required to listen to special resolutions passed by a majority of their members in their local riding and vote accordingly.
Is there a campaign to target ridings? Because if you've got widespread, you may not have numbers in ridings to take over. I don't know if take over is the right word, but are you going to have the dedicated target of a campaign you'll go after or a riding you'll go after?
No, absolutely not. if we end up with, we know we'll end up with majority of membership in every riding, even the ridings that have no seats. The question is, how many delegates do they get to pick in that selection process, delegate selection process? Our understanding is for every 25 members, they get to send one delegate, and then that controls the AGM on June 10th.
Are you still trying to force or get the government to hold a plebiscite on these issues? Or?
Absolutely. If the government wanted to have people settle down, like she's asked us to do numerous times, it would be quite simple. All she'd have to do is hold those plebiscites.
Do you still plan on taking the petition to the Queen if the Lieutenant Governor ignores your petition?
The Lieutenant Governor will not get our petition unless we know in advance that our wishes are to be respected. It'll go to the Queen so that the NDP party doesn't have our membership list.
I guess my other follow-up would be then, who do you expect to take the petition on March 8th?
Who do I expect to take the petition? I don't expect... I will have an answer from Premier Notley and Lieutenant Governor as to whether or not they wish to hold a plebiscite or not before March 8th. And should they choose not to hold plebiscites, the plebiscite and all the signatures will never go to them. It'll go straight to the monarchy in London.
So just the idea is, you guys, your supporters will join the NDP or are joining the NDP, and you will try and get the MLAs to follow your wishes by potentially the threat of nomination challenges, things like that.
We will work within the structures of the party to participate and understand their social positions. We will discuss with them face to face. We'll attempt to revise or perhaps put a more Alberta spin on a number of things within the party and hope that they listen to us. If anything else ensues, it has nothing to do with me because I'm never running for any political office. I'm never going to be the leader of anything other than my own company, seeking to make a living for my own family. That's it. This is up to Alberta.
We want a voice on policy.
Alberta right now is being ignored by a government, and the only way in, according to our own premier, is to be a member of her party. So we're taking her up on her offer.
If you go on to the website where you join as an NDP member, which I've newly done, it'll tell you right there. It says you, as a new member, decide on NDP policy. The leadership, MLAs, but that's the statement they make. So at the end of the day, if we have 20, 50 or 100,000 people, we're going to take over as far as policy development in NDP and also the leadership, which comes up in review in the 25th.
My understanding is the Constitution of the NDP party has the question of leadership come up every single annual general meeting, annual convention. It's written into the Constitution, it has to come to the floor. So how the new members and the old members vote on that issue is up to those members. My understanding too is while they're in power as a government, they have to have an annual convention every single year. So this here particular government is going to be facing the will of the people every single year as long as we get about 500,000 Albertans committed to joining the party.
There's only 4,200 members right now. All right.
Sounds good, guys.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Ian? Or sorry, Duncan.
No, I'm good.
You're good? Okay.